Right, welcome back to another game of AIG Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. And we are going to have another doubleheader, this one from June 25th, 1984. This is the Houston Astros at the Atlanta Braves. And we'll be playing with the simplified player finder and all of that, but with pitchers and batters both. So let's get this one started. For Houston, I've also input their defensive numbers and their error rating. So we'll roll for the error each time there's a catch or a throw, and that should put errors into a better place, better chance for errors at least. So we have Bill Doran, Craig Reynolds, and Harry Spillman leaning off against Lynn Barker. We got Barker here. He's a +4 on his Ks. He's a -1 on his walks and zeros for everything else. So a 61 to Bill Doran. I got one extra player here, so the 84 set's a little bit of a mess. Bill Doran is 61 to him is going to be a ground out, and that's grounded right back to the pitcher. And for the pitcher, he makes the catch and the throw. So 1-3 on the putout, and that'll be out number 1. So it'll take a little bit more time just to do that. The catch and the throw for everybody, but like I said, this is going to put you on the correct scale really for every single play, every single opportunity for a catch and a throw, at least a catch. You should do the errors if you want it to be statistically like spot on. Craig Reynolds up next, and 80 to him is going to be a fly ball that goes out to right field, and that is hit to medium right field, so can of corn out there. Let's see if he makes the catch. He does, and that's no problem for out number 2. Harry Spillman to the plate, a 7. Could be good things for them. Spillman is here. A 7 is going to be a triple, as he hits one into the right center field corner or wall, and then he turns that into a triple. Jose Cruz to the plate, a 19 for Cruz is going to be a base hit, and that'll be an RBI single for Cruz as he drives in the runner from third. And Houston takes a 1-0 lead. An 89 for Jerry Mumphrey, that'll be a line out, and that goes to right field. The catch is made in right, and that will be all she wrote in the inning. But Houston does come up with 1 run on the Jose Cruz RBI single. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Atlanta down by 1. They send up Rafael Ramirez, Ken Oberkfell, and Gerald Perry to the plates. Let's get this transferred over. So 21 to, I guess, number 1, Mike Lacasse is getting the start for Houston. Just 4 innings. Really, he was a swingman reliever. Home runs are -1, Ks +1, walks +2, wild pitches +1. So I think on a, well, it'll just be a 100, so that'll be it. 21 for Rafael Ramirez. That's going to be a base hit. And the Braves have 1 on with nobody out. A 5, this could be big trouble. Ken Oberkfell. A 5 for him is going to be a double. So a 2-bagger. That pushes the runner to third base. Ramirez runs at a 70. We're going to try that. And so we have play at the plate. 1 to 70, he's safe. You can see it's a 92, and he gets thrown out. So, fielder's choice, he is out number 1, but we have a runner at second base for Gerald Perry. So Perry with 1 down. A 15 to him is going to be into his single range. That pushes the runner to third. Oberkfell. He's also an extra base of 70. We're going to play the odds here. We're going to try to send him home. 30, he's in there safely, so that's going to be an RBI single for Gerald Perry. So one down with a runner at first. And 80 to Del Murphy is going to be a fly out, and that's actually hit foul out of play as it reaches the stands. 36 is going to be a strikeout, I believe. Let's see. Lacoste is a +2. That's actually going to be a walk. So that's a walk to Del Murphy. So Lacoste's ratings turn that into a walk. And that's going to bring up Chris Chambliss to the plate. An 87 is going to be a fly out. That is to the right field line. We need to do a range check to see if our right fielder catches it. It's Brad Kaminsky. He has a range of 3. That means on a 1 to 75, he'll make the catch in right. And he does not make the catch. That's going to fall for a hit. So that will move up our runners. Gerald Perry runs at a 70. We're going to send, actually we won't send him home because he was probably waiting, right? He was waiting to see if that ball was caught. So wouldn't have gotten a good jump there. But we got bases loaded for Brad Kaminsky. 23 for Kaminsky is going to be a walk. Yes. So he gets an RBI. Everybody moves up 1. And not a great start here for Lacoste, as he's given up 2 runs in the first. A 4, that's even worse. Glenn Hubbard with a 2 to 4. Lacoste's home run is a -1, so he's a 2 to 3, which is going to make this a double instead of a home run. But still going to be a big hit, as Glenn Hubbard hits one off the wall in right center field. This guy's going to go to third. That's going to drive in 2 more runs on a 2 RBI double from Glenn Hubbard. It's now 4-1 Atlanta. 86 to Alex Trevino. That will be a fly out. That goes to the center field gap, left center field. We're checking the center fielder Mumphrey. And he is a -5. So Mumphrey is not going to get to the ball. That falls for another hit. So another single and an RBI. And things are looking really bad for Mike Lacoste. A 94, he finally gets a pop-up, I believe. Let's see. We're going to use the one pitcher I have, which is Bob Nepper. So that's going to be a pop-out. And that pop-out goes to the second baseman. We'll do an error check on him. He makes the catch. So P4 on the put-out. That is just the second out of the inning. All the runners are going to hold. And we go back to Rafael Ramirez at the top of the order. 27 for him is going to be a walk. And things just kind of going from bad to worse for Mike Lacoste. 76 for Ken Oberkfell. 76 is a fly out. That goes to right center field. This is the right fielder in the right center field gap. So that's Cherry Poole. Not a great chance to catch this. 1 to 45. It's an 88, and that's going to fall for a hit as well. So with 2 outs, everybody gets an extra base. That's going to score 1, 2. And just some really bad luck here, as no one can quite get to the ball. 28 to Gerald Perry. That's going to be into his walk range as well. So bases loaded again. Still 2 outs. 86 is going to be Dale Murphy. 86 is a fly out. That is down the left field line. We're checking the left fielder. He's a +6, so he's a 1 to 85 to make the catch. He makes it in left field, so that ends the inning. but not before 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs come across. And quite a rough first inning there for Mike Lacoste. We head to the second inning. It's Ray Knight, Terry Poole, and Mark Bailey. Ray Knight, a 42. He was on here. Where was he? Oh, wrong team. So Ray Knight with a 42 is going to be a strikeout. Brings up Terry Poole. An 8 to Terry Poole will be a double. Yep. So Terry Poole at second base with 1 out. And big trouble here as Mark Bailey gets a hold of one. A 2 to a 4 is a home run. And that will be a 2-run shot for Mark Bailey. And that puts the Astros a little bit closer, 7 to 3 here in the second inning. We get an 8 for Mike Lacoste. Lacoste is going to be using Joe Negro. An 8 is going to be a single. And he'll be on at first base for Bill Doran. Doran grounded out to first in his first at-bat. He's going to ground out again, this time to the shortstop. And to the shortstop with a runner at first. If there is 1 out, which there is, that's going to be a force at second, and the batter is safe at first. So we'll go 6-4 on the fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning with a runner at first. A 31 to Craig Reynolds is a walk. Just had to double check that. So 2 on now with 2 outs. And Harry Spielman to the plate. This will be a big hit for Spielman. 19 is going to be a 2-out single. That'll score the run from second. And push the runner to third. So that's going to be 3 runs in the inning and a 7-4 lead for Atlanta. Jose Cruz to the plate in 96 will be a pop out. And that's popped straight up in front of the home plate. The catcher will make the catch for out number 3. But 3 runs come in the second, and it's now 7-4. Atlanta over Houston. A warm night in Atlanta. The ball is jumping. And they called it the launching pad. All right, so it's Chris Chambliss in the second inning. Leading off, he singled and scored in his first at-bat. An 86 is going to be a fly out, but that goes out of play. So he tries again. A 26 to Chambliss will be a walk. So Mike Lacoste trying to put that last inning behind him. He's facing Brad Kamensk. He walked him in the first at-bat. Lacoste has a +1 on his K, so he has a 50. So this will be a ground out to the shortstop. This is a defensive check for the shortstop. That's Craig Reynolds. He's a +4. He'll get to it with a 1 to 75. It's a 10. And so with a runner at first and nobody out, we'll make a double play attempt. So let's see if the throw to second, it is good. So that's going to be out number 1. And then we'll roll against the batter's XB. So that's a 70, basically a speed rating. And it is less than his XB. So he's going to beat that out at first. So that's going to be just a fielder's choice. We'll go 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Brings up Hubbard. Hubbard in his first at-bat had a 2-run double. No luck here. That's going to be a line out right back to the pitcher. So we'll go L1. Runner holds at first. And last chance here, Alex Trevino. He had an RBI single in his first at bat. 75 for Trevino is going to be a ground out. That's hit to shortstop. We'll see if there's an error. There's not. And he'll make the throw to first, and that is good. So our first 0 of the game goes up in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third. It's 7-4. Atlanta over Houston in game 1 of a doubleheader. So it's played on June 25th, 1984. For Houston, it's going to be Mumphrey, Knight, and Terry Poole. 93 to Mumphrey is going to be a line out that goes to the first baseman. And let's make sure he makes the catch at first. He does. And that'll be out number 1. Ray Knight to the plate. Ray Knight struck out in his first at bat. Looks like he's going to do the same here. As he sees 48. Barker is a +4, so yep, he will strike out. 2 strikeouts on the day for Ray Knight. Terry Poole to the plate. Poole with a double and a run scored in his first at bat. 87 though is going to be a fly out, but that's hit foul as it goes into the stands. 61 is Barker's a +4, so that's going to be another strikeout. So a couple strikeouts in the inning, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the third. 7-4 is our score. Houston at Atlanta. And for Atlanta, it's going to be Len Barker, the pitcher, and then back up to the top of the order with Ramirez and Oberkfell. Again, we're using Joe Niekro's card. I have to come up with like a generic pitcher card or something. 80 is going to be a fly out to right field. It's actually to the right center field gap. We're checking the right fielder to see if he gets there. He's a -7, Terry Poole. So that's going to be a 1-45. He makes the catch. It's an 89, and that's going to fall for a single. So pitcher on board with nobody out. 22 to Rafael Ramirez is going to be a base hit. Station to station for the pitcher. And Ramirez now 2 for 2. Brings up Oberkfell. Oberkfell also 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. A 37 to him will be into the strikeout range, so he's down for the first out of the inning. We got 2 on and 1 out. For Gerald Perry, 52 is going to be a strikeout. So Mike Lacoste coming back strong with a couple of runners on. And that brings up the ever-dangerous Dale Murphy. Murphy gets under this one. He pops it up straight to the infield. And waiting on it is the first baseman, Harry Spielman. He squeezes it for out number 3. And we head to the top of the 4th inning. Still 7-4, Atlanta over Houston. This game can move along pretty quickly as long as the pitchers are doing okay. Barker's still in there. He can go 7 innings. We're starting to reach the end of Mike Lacoste. But Barker facing off against Bailey, Lacoste, and Duran. Might think about pinch hitting here for Lacoste. Bailey with a 2-run homer as last time. And 83, though, is going to be a fly ball. This one is hit to straightaway center field. No problem out in center. And that's Dale Murphy making the catch in center field. It's going to get a pinch hitter. I'm going to go with I'm going to make a double switch. So we're going to have Kevin Bass come in here. He'll play right field. He'll be a 196. And we will put the pitcher spot here. So the pitcher. The new pitcher will be Pete Falcone, and he'll be a 094. All right, so the new pitcher will be Pete Falcone, getting him warmed up in the bullpen, and Kevin Bass is going to come in and pinch hit here. So we got a double switch. Early in the game, we want to make sure we extend that pitcher as far as possible. Kevin Bass with a 20, that's going to be a base knock for him as he gets on with a single. And Bass is an SB minus, so he can't steal until the 7th inning. But he's at first base for Bill Doran. 33 to Doran, possible walk. His walks are -1, so 32 it goes to. That means the 33 is going to be a strikeout. So second out of the inning. And it brings up Craig Reynolds. 15 to Reynolds is a base knock. So 2-out hit for Craig Reynolds pushes the runner to third base. And we have runners at the corners with 2 down for Harry Spielman. Spielman 2 for 2. And 86 is going to be a fly ball that goes to straightaway right field. That's a can of corn out there. As the right fielder, Brad Kamensk, makes the catch for out number 3. So Houston strands 2 in the 4th. It's still 7-4, Atlanta over Houston. Had some fireworks early, but both pitchers have settled in a bit. And it will be, I batted for Lacoste, so it's not Falcone. Who is it? It should be, who do we go with? Let's go with Vern Rule, so he's actually a 098. So we got Kevin Bass in the game now playing right field. Terry Poole is out. We have a pitcher in his spot, and that pitcher is going to be Vern Rule. Longtime pitching coach. Cost goes just 3 innings. And we get a new guy here. So it'll be Chambliss, Kamensk, and Hubbard for the Bravos. Chambliss 1 for 1. A 37 will be a strikeout. Brings up Kamensk, 94 for him. Should be a pop-up. Where is he? That is going to be a pop-up. That is hit to the shortstop. Let's check the shortstop. No error on the play. So we'll go P6. That's out number 2. 2 quick outs here in the 4th. And Glenn Hubbard to the plate. 84 to Glenn Hubbard is a fly ball that goes down the right field line. Let's see if the player gets there. It's Kevin Bass now in right field. He's a 1-75 to make the catch. Better outfielder out there, and he does get to it, and he does make the catch. So important to put those good outfielders out there in this game because of those defense checks. So we have a 1-2-3 inning for Vern Rule. 7-4 is our score. And we're headed to the top of the 5th inning. It's Jose Cruz, Jerry Mumphrey, and Ray Knight. 65 for Jose Cruz will be a ground out. That's hit to the shortstop. Shortstop makes the catch. Shortstop makes the throw. And that is 1 out. Jerry Mumphrey to the plate. A 96 to Mumphrey is going to be a pop-up. He hits this to the second baseman. And a possible error on the play. The second baseman is Hubbard. He has a 98. It's a 93. And so he gets out onto the grass and makes a catch in shallow right. And that's 2 down in the inning. Ray Knight to the plate. A 64 is, and let's see, Lynn Barker is our player. He's at a 60, so 64 is a ground out. That's going to go to the second baseman. We'll see if there's an error on the play. No error. And how about the throw? He makes a good clean throw to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. So the top of the fifth goes by in a flash, and we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Atlanta leads 7-4. Vern Rule goes out for his second inning. And it'll be Trevino, Barker, and Ramirez for the Braves. Trevino, an 80, is going to be a fly out, but that's going to go foul. Get another crack at it. This time he gets under it, and he pops it up to the shortstop. Is there an error on the catch? Possible error on the catch. He's a 96. It's a 93, so he does make that catch. And that's going to be out number 1. That's Craig Reynolds going out into left field to make the snag. Len Barker to the plate. This is the pitcher. 009 will be a base hit. He's now 2 for 3 with a couple of hits. Can't seem to get the pitcher out in this one. Which brings up Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez with a 55. Let's see, Lacoste is a +1. So that's going to be a strikeout. And that'll be out number 2. 2 down, 1 on for Ken Oberkfell. Oberkfell with a 70. That'll be a ground out to the first baseman. Catch is made, and he'll toss it to the pitcher who is covering. So 3-1 on the putout, and that is all she wrote in the fifth. So we go to the top of the sixth inning. Vern Rules come in and settle things down just a little bit for the Houston pitching staff. And we have a 7-4 lead for the Braves in this first game of a doubleheader. So our pitcher Barker can go 7 innings, so he's no danger here. He's going to face off against the pitcher spot. Let's go ahead and we'll get another pinch hitter. So let's go with Walling. Walling in the 6th. So get a pinch hitter spot here. So Denny Walling here, a 29 to him is into his walk range. So he'll take first base. He's an SB minus, good stealing numbers, but can't do anything till the 7th inning. So we get Mark Bailey to the plate. Bailey is 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. A 36 is going to be a strikeout. So mark him 1 for 3 on the day. Kevin Bass to the plate with his second at bat. 33 to Bass is into a walk range. He's a -1, so 34. So that is going to be a walk. So 2 walks in the inning for Len Barker. And he's got 2 on with only 1 out. And Bill Doran come to the plate. 22 for Doran is going to be a single. So base hit there. Chance to score the runner. It's Danny Walling with the 70. We're going to send him, see if he can score on the play. 1 to 70 he scores, and he is in there safely. On an RBI single from Bill Doran. That is going to push the runner to second base. And it's now 7-5. 61 for Craig Reynolds. That'll be a ground out to the catcher. Does catcher make the play? He does. And with runners at first and second. And 1 out. First and second and 1 out. Routine grounder. R1 is forced at second base. R2 advances, and the batter is safe. So the catcher jumps on it, throws down to second base. That's all they're going to get. He's out number 2. This runner is going to move to third, and this runner is going to be at first on a 2-6. So runners at the corners. Harry Spielman to the plate. Spielman with a chance to get them right back into the game. A 54, though. Barker is a 4, so that extends his K range to a 56. So that's going to be a big-time strikeout from Len Barker, who ends the threat in this 6th, but Houston does get 1 back, so they are trailing 7-5 now. Going to need a new pitcher for the Astros. And let's go with at the heart of the order up. Let's go with Dave Smith. I think Smith, he wound up being a sort of a closer type. I don't think they have a proper closer. They don't. So Vern Rule goes 2 innings. Dave Smith is into the game right here. And he'll face off against the middle of the order, Perry, Murphy, and Chambliss. A 99 is going to be a possible hit by pitch. For Dave Smith, he's got a 0, so he plunks Gerald Perry. Do a little roll for an injury. 88. A stinger or swelling, the batter stays in the game, but he cannot steal bases, so that might be a big deal for Perry, who is eligible to steal bases, but he can't anymore. So, no stealing for him. Brings up Dale Murphy. Murphy is 0 for 2, and 86 is probably going to be 0 for 3 as he flies out to center field. This goes out to the left center field gap, and we're checking the center fielder's range. That's Mumphrey. He's a -5. That means he'll get to it on a 1 to 45. Gets a 33, and he gets there. So, nice play in center field by Mumphrey. Let's see. It was to the warning track, and so that means the player at first can get a +10 on his XP modifier. So that makes him an 88, and we're going to see if he can advance. He does advance, so he advances on the F8. Brings up Chris Chambliss. Chambliss, a 75. He's 1 for 2. 75 is going to be a ground out. That goes to the shortstop. Catch is made. Got a runner at second base and 1 out. Grounder to short. The runner holds. Let's see if he makes the throw. He does. That's 6-3 on the putout. As he looks back, the runner at second base, so he can advance. Brad Kamensk to the plate, and he's going to come through with an RBI single, I believe. 13 is going to be a base hit. So with 2 outs, Brad Kamensk comes through, and the Braves score for the first time since the first inning. They now take an 8-5 lead, and it'll be Glenn Hubbard to the plate with 2 down and 1 on. 31 for Hubbard is into the strikeout range, I believe. Walks are -1, so 27, 28, yep. So that is into the strikeout range, and Dave Smith ends the inning with a K. But he does give up 1 on the Brad Kamensk 2-out single, clutch 2-out single. And it's 8-5 as we head to the 7th inning. One more inning for Len Barker as he faces the middle of the order, Cruz, Mumphrey, and Knight. Jose Cruz, 1 for 3. 61 is going to be a possible ground out. It's actually going to be, because the 60 adds 4. A 64 now is a strikeout, so that's going to be a strikeout. So strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Barker laying it down in this one. Mumphrey to the plate. A 14 is going to be a base knock. He's now 1 for 4. He can steal. I don't think we need to do that with only a couple of innings left and down by 3. 54 to Ray Knight. That's going to be another strikeout. So Barker changing the narrative here with his strikeouts. 2 down and 1 on. And we need to get another pinch hitter, so let's do that. Sorry. Another pinch hitter. Let's go with Old scrap iron Phil Garner. Garner in the 7th. So Phil Garner to the plate, right-handed batter. And 84 to him is going to be a fly out. This goes out to straightaway center field. It's a can of corn. Let's see if he makes it. He does make the catch. And that'll be out number 3. As Houston strands one in the 7th. They're still down 8-5. Trying to break through against these tough Bravos. Atlanta wound up, I think these two teams were tied for 2nd and 3rd place, if I remember the standings correctly. Need a new pitcher. It will be, let's put in Frank, no. How about Bill Dolly? So Smith goes 1 inning. Dolly comes in here in the 7th. And he'll face off against the bottom of the order, Trevino. And then we'll have a pinch hitter for the pitcher. And then Ramirez. Trevino, 1 for 3 with a RBI single and a run scored. 57, though, is going to be a possible ground out. Although Del Pino, no, Dolly's a -2, so 52. So it will be a ground out to the 3rd baseman. An 80. Our 3rd baseman is a 94, so he makes the catch. And he makes a good throw across the diamond for out number 1. We need a pinch hitter. Let's go with... I guess Claudel Washington. Washington, pinch hitter in the 7th. .65 to Washington will be a ground out. That goes to 2nd base. 2nd baseman makes the catch. And a possible error. 94. Oh, just there as he makes a low throw, but scooped out at first. And that's going to be out number 2. Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez is 2 for 3. An 84 to Ramirez will be a fly out. That goes to the right center field gap. We're checking the center fielder. That's Mumphrey. He's a 1 to 45 to make the catch. It's an 18, and Mumphrey is there again. Let's make sure that he catches the ball. He does, and that's a nice play out in right center field by the center fielder, Mumphrey. 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. Good job by Bill Dolly to get them out of the inning. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. 6 more outs left for Atlanta. And we need to get a new pitcher for them. Now it's going to be Pete Falcone. Hopefully Falcone can get the job done. He can go 4 innings. So see if he can get it. He has a +3 here to his walks. Could be detrimental. He'll be facing off against Bailey, Kevin Bass, and Bill Doran. Bailey, 62 is, he's a -3. Okay, so 62, that's going to be a ground out to the catcher. No problem on the pickup, and the throw to first is on target and in time for a 2-3 putout. Brings up Kevin Bass. Bass is 1 for 1, single and a walk. 75 will be a ground out. That's hit to shortstop. And good pick and a good throw. And he is out at first base for out number 2. A couple of quick ground outs for Falcone. Brings up Bill Doran to the plate. Doran with a 91. 91 is going to be a line out. That is hit to center field. Let's make sure the center fielder catches it. He does. Coming in on the run is Dale Murphy. makes a nice catch chest high and continues right on into the dugout as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Braves are up 8-5 in the first game of a doubleheader. We've got another team. Bill Dolly goes out for his 2nd inning of work. And it will be Obertfell, Perry, and Murphy. Ken Obertfell is 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. A 92. That's going to be a line out to the shortstop. Nice play at short as we go L6 on the putout, and that's out number 1. Gerald Perry to the plate. A 22 to Gerald Perry is going to be right at his single range, so that's a base knock for Perry. Brings up Murph. Murph is 0 for 3, but he's going to get a hit here as a 19 is going to be another single. And Chris Chambliss to the plate also follows with a single. So 3 straight base hits. And let's see about Gerald Perry. Gerald Perry is a 70, so let's send him home. Being aggressive. Oh, he gets gunned down at the plate. So that's out number 2. And still have runners at first and second, but now 2 outs. Brad Kamensk, a single his last time up, a 30. Is, let's check here, Dolly is a +1 on his walks, so he's a 27. So that's going to be a strikeout as Kamensk goes down by strikes for the first time in this game, and that will end the threat. So really nice defensive play out there as they throw out Gerald Perry trying to score on a single. That keeps the game at 8-5, and we head to the top of the 9th inning. This is the last hope for Houston. Don't know if they have a proper closer. I don't have them listed. It's probably Bedrosian who would have done that work, I would think. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get Steve Bedrosian into the game. See if he can close things out. He's a +9 on his strikeouts. He's a -1 on his home runs. So Steve Bedrosian will come in and face the heart of the order for Houston. It'll be Reynolds, Spielman, and Cruz. Falcone goes 1. I don't know if it's Falcone or Falcone. I'm just going to say Falcone because that's kind of the safe choice. And we have the 2, 3, 4 hitters for Houston are up. And we'll see how it goes. Craig Reynolds is 1 for 3. He does have a walk and a single. The 69, though, is going to be a ground out. That goes to the second baseman. Second baseman makes the play. And a good throw to first from Glenn Hubbard. That'll be out number 1. Brings up Harry Spielman. A 7 to Harry Spielman should be good. So a 7 is going to be a triple. So a 1-out triple for Spielman. And he's at third base with 1 out. Brings up Jose Cruz. A 74 to Jose Cruz is a ground out. That goes to the second baseman. He's going to make the catch, and he's going to make a good throw to first. So with the runner at third and the infield back, the runner's going to score if it goes to the second baseman or shortstop. So we're going to go 4-3 on the putout. That's going to score a run on the fielder's choice. He gets 1 RBI. And it's now 8-6. Jerry Mumphrey to the plate. This could be big trouble. Mumphrey, it's important to realize Bedrosian has a -1 on his home runs. So Jerry Mumphrey, a 2-4, so it's really a 2-3. So a 5 is going to be a double. So 2-out double for Mumphrey, and tying run comes to the plate in the person of Ray Knight. 69 will be a ground out. That goes to short. We have 2 outs, so he just needs to make the play here. 96, that's not guaranteed. Shortstop is a 95. And that means that Rafael Ramirez makes the error on the catch. So we're going to go E6 as he can't make the play. And that's going to put runners at first and third. And now all of a sudden the winning run is coming to the plate. We need a new batter here. Running out of guys on the bench. So let's go with Enos Cabell. So Cabell in the 9th. And this one's getting real interesting real fast. So Enos Cabell represents the winning run if he hits one, pops one out of here. 77. Not going to do that. This is a grounder back to the pitcher. Let's see if Bedrosian can make the play. 78. Let's see. Where is he? He's here. So he's a 90. So he does make the catch. He makes the throw. And everyone in Atlanta is breathing a sigh of relief as they get the 3rd out on a 1-3 put out. As Bedrosian tosses it underhand to the first baseman. Houston gets 1 run, but they can't get the big hit here with 2 on and 2 outs. And Atlanta is going to take this one by a score of 8-4, 5, 6. All right, let me put you on hold. I'll come back with the finals and we'll wrap up this first game. All right, and let's finish this one up. Houston loses 8-6 on the road to the Braves. For the Braves, it's 8 runs on 14 hits, 1 error. For Houston, it's 6 runs on 12 hits and no errors. Houston just couldn't quite come through with the big hit, and got good relief pitching from the Atlanta bullpen. Pretty good relief pitching as well from the Houston bullpen, as they allowed only 1 run after the first inning. So gave their team a chance to get back into it, but just couldn't quite get there. Mike Lacoste, tough start, 3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 5 walks and 2 Ks for Houston. Lynn Barker goes 7 innings, 10 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 3 walks and 8 Ks for the win. And the save, Steve Bedrosian comes in, gives up 2 hits and a run, but does wind up getting the save, I believe. We'll bring him in and give him the save. So this is played with AIG Baseball, and if you want to play this game, you can just email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you the files that I have. I'll probably send you 2024 because that set is a little bit more complete than this 1984. You can see I've already screwed up things over here with Dwight Lowry winding up on the Houston side of the ball, which means there's probably one more batter that didn't make it onto the Houston side. So I just threw this together real quick this morning, and just wanted to get this game out there. I thought these would be 2 interesting teams to play, as they're kind of they were both 80 and 82, I believe. So right there behind the division leaders for sure, probably 8 or 10 games out of first, but both kind of comparable in their makeup. This is playing with the pitchers and the batters. You can just play with the batters. The previous video here on the channel, you can see where I played only with the batters with no pitcher interference or changes. You can see the pitchers did change things a little bit. And this is your basic. There's a basic player finder here. Base running on ground outs. You can do the fly ball depth. I did that a couple of times on a deep fly ball. And so it's possible, to see how far the ball was hit. And depending on how far the ball is hit, you can get a bit of a modifier for the runner who wants to advance or something like that. There are also quite a few sort of advanced sheets as well. And this is an example of one of those advanced sheets where you've got results here for right-handed batters and left-handed batters. This is for the base hits. There's also one for outs, different types of outs, strikeouts, walks, wild pitches, etc., which just kind of gives more detail about the game. We never had any rare plays show up, but rare plays do happen in the game. So you got your rare play sheet here. And basically, once you have a rare play, you just roll. You roll the D100 and see what the rare play is. Some of these have an effect on the play. So bouncer hits the first base bag and goes over the first baseman's glove. It's a single. And some of them are just a re-roll. Batter strikes the overhead camera wire, is ruled a dead ball, replay pitch. Some of these are more modern. That's obviously a more modern kind of thing, but you can see the advanced strikeouts there. It just gives a little bit of color commentary to everything. And for here, the bold letters, that's when you do a specific roll for an error. Otherwise, it'll tell you when to do the defense check and the error checks if you use this. If you want more realism, you play it like I did, where every single catch, every single throw, you're checking the error to make sure that the player made the play. Because this is based off of their actual percentage. You know, you have a 1 to 100 roll, so we have the option and the opportunity to actually have the player's fielding percentage. So catching the ball and throwing the ball, that's where fielding percentage comes in. This defensive rating is more like a range type rating for defense. I think it's defensive runs saved is what I use, since that's a value that's used all the way throughout history. Same thing with the fielding percentages. So my goal with this game is to put out a lot of seasons, and it'll come fairly quickly. A lot of these cards are going to be easier to create, I think. So look for this one to be coming, I think, relatively soon. I'll be putting out a demo with a season, so that you can play a whole season if you wanted to, and you can try out the game. And then I'll be putting out more seasons for purchase. Again, this is AIG Baseball. AIG Basketball, I've got a couple of seasons for purchase already on the website. You can go and check those out. AIG Hockey is coming, AIG Tennis, AIG Golf. So lots of different stuff. I've fooled around with soccer before. I've fooled around with NASCAR. I've fooled around with a lot of different stuff, but nothing quite yet for those. Although I do have a really fun little racing game that I plan to put out as a physical product, that you'll have little cards and boards with a racetrack, and it's got a lot of like really interesting little decisions that you get to make. And it's kind of a fun little game. You can play it in 10 minutes or something like that, but a lot of really interesting little decisions to make. And I could see it being a fun kind of party game, small game to just play with friends, where you roll 2 or 3 games within a half hour. And, it'll have little race cars and stuff like that that you can move along the tracks. So it should be a pretty cool little game. And maybe over time I can do different tracks and things like that. So, but it's got a lot of the mechanics that you would expect in a racing game. You'll find the video here on this channel if you just look up racing. I don't know when I did it, maybe a couple months ago. But you'll be able to see how it works. And if you want to play like a little quick demo of that, you can email me and ask me for that as well. But that's just it's not really branded to Indy 500 or NASCAR or anything like that. It's just a generic racing game that's got some really interesting decisions to make based on how you pass people. Do you wait? Do you draft? There's all the things that you would expect. It's got wear and tear on your car, so you have to kind of watch and pit at the right times and stuff like that. So pretty cool little game to play. And AIG football is out there too, so I've only demoed that, but that should be coming at some point. And then I've been really focused on the career GM game called Diamond Dynasty. So you can check out the videos for that too, as I finished up season 2, so I have some of the new new mechanics, I guess, added into the game. So a few future stars here. We had a Hall of Famer. Bayport won their 2nd championship in a row. This is what the team cards look like for that. So you can see you get a 1 to 9 is your starting lineup. And then there's a minor league system as well. So I'm learning kind of how to do the minor leagues and just trying to figure out the best flow of the game from the off season. And then what sets the game apart is you have this sort of, you have these financial concerns for your team as well. You can do team upgrades, which help you. You keep track of all your finances throughout the season, and then you come out with sort of a net cash flow, either negative or positive. And so this is the Hillcrest Blazers. The Blazers were last. They were 2-4. I guess they were tied for last. But this is the Crushers. You can see they were pretty loaded with star power there. But cut a few players, promoted a lot of players from. So I have 4 players out of the 5 in the minor league system were promoted. This other guy here, he was let go. There just wasn't a place for him in center field because Cesar Valverde was a little bit younger, and he came in and took the job. So it's creates some really interesting narratives, and is a really fun game, I think, as you go through, and then you can play out an entire season. This is what it looks like for the season play. You can see all the games played here. This is just a 4-team season, so you can get everything right here on one sheet. But basically you come out with these final scores that look like baseball scores, and that's based off of the team's total skills, and the total star power, or the total number of stars that they have on the team. And then if there's any sort of home field advantage, that figures in as well, and that gives you a baseline runs per game for each team, and that's based off of a chart that we have. And then you roll 2d6 dice. You check the roll result against the pitcher's skill level, because each pitcher has a skill level. So you can see Angel Hawkins, he has a 3. And so on the chart, you look for the 3 skill level, and you cross-reference the roll. And that particular pitcher either adds to or subtracts from this baseline runs per game. And that's how you wind up here. So you can see that the Blazers pitcher here held them to 2 runs less than their normal. The Crushers pitcher held them to just their normal runs per game. So even though the Crushers came in with an advantage, quite an advantage probably, they actually lost the game because of pitching. So pitching does come into play, and that's sort of changed kind of the outlook of the game. So many thanks to everyone who has been testing the game, those on YouTube who have been giving suggestions in the comments as well. It's been really cool to see how the game develops. And there's you can cut players, you've got minor league system, you got free agents, you've got contracts now. So each of the players has they sign a 2-year contract. So you can see here in this season, everyone was in year 2 of their contract. Some of the rookies were on their 1st year contract, and some are on the 2nd year of their contract. If rookies don't come up to to be a part of the big club, then they get jettisoned and basically retire out, and then you make room for another crop of rookies in the draft. And so there's a whole process to go through in the off season, and really that's where you're making your team. And the focus of the game is more on roster building than it is on playing out every single pitch like you do here. So if you are into that kind of career mode, GM mode type of games, there's not a lot of that going on for cards and dice. And so I thought this might be a good entryway into that. Baseball obviously is a very popular sport with tabletop gamers. And so that seems like an obvious choice, but this game, I'm sure it can port over to football, basketball, hockey, etc. Any sort of sport where you have that. I've even had discussions with people about golf and tennis and individual sports. Car racing would be a really good one, as you have sort of driver skill and team skills and that type of thing. So I think it can move over into lots of different sports. So we'll see how that Dynasty series develops. And that's called Diamond Dynasty. And that, if you want to play the most recent files for that, you can also email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to get those files to you. And you can play the version I was just showing you. So I have all of the all the game parts set out for that. And I'm thinking about doing that as a physical book as well. So you'd either be able to buy the PDF or you could buy a book. I'm trying to lay out the game guide in such a way that it would be kind of in a book format where you sort of have each level of the off season on one page or pages facing each other or something like that. That way it would be easy to just sort of go through the book and you do a page at a time and you're creating your team or going through the off season. And as you go through the off season, you get the hang of some of the parts of it, and you won't even need some of those charts. You'll just be rolling to create your players or to do the player development and stuff like that. So trying to make that as user-friendly and as easy as possible to do in a book form so that you could just purchase a book, take it with you, and literally create out an entire season. If you had a notebook or some notebook paper, you'd be able to sort of reproduce these sheets of paper that I have there. All right. If you have any questions or comments about any of these games, including the game I played today, which is AIG Baseball, please leave those down in the comments section. There's always something happening at Clark and Addison. Maybe that should be the new motto. There's always something happening at Clark and Addison. But there's a really cool interview that I did with Jason Graham at the Jason Flash Football YouTube channel. So you can check that out. We had a nice 2-hour conversation the other day. I guess that had to be this last weekend. So you can check that out on his channel. And it was really fun to get to meet him and to talk to another designer. He likes to play action football. So if you want to check out his channel, he is way better, way more interesting at playing play action football than I am. I'm a little bit too Bob Ross, I think, for a lot of things, but he is very excited about the game, and he calls a good game, and very exciting games that he rolls on his tabletop. He's also got a ton of other stuff. If you follow him, he's got a lot of games, 8, 9, 10 games that are career GM-based games, but for all different types of sports and kind of this old school look at things from back in the day. But he's got a lot of like really fun kind of 2D6 games that you can play. And he just gives a lot of those things away for free off of his Google Drive. So check him out and go see what's going on with him. Support him as a small designer, developer. I encourage everyone to support your local developer, I guess is how you would say that. Anybody that's not App or Strat, not that you shouldn't buy from them, but make sure you're supporting the little guys too, because there's some really cool ideas out there, things that maybe Strat and Appa don't want to do or can't do. And so just some newer ideas for how to play games. Go check out Keith Avalon at Play Games and PT games and the ASG games. And, there's lots of different stuff out there. Check out Matt and his partner at Pocket Pennant Run. I played that, before it was a production game. A really fun game, similar to this, where you just kind of fly through a game pretty quickly. They have a whole digital component that's unbelievable that comes with the purchase of the game as well. And so lots of really cool stuff that's going on in the hobby right now. So go out and give everything a try. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can join the Facebook group for Clark and Addison Gaming Company. Just go to Facebook groups, look us up, answer a few questions, and agree to the group rules. I'll be happy to let you into the group. That's where you're going to get, there's games that I don't even really talk about very much, but they're in the free game section. Someone had just mentioned Dice Basketball 2024 the other day, which I had totally forgotten about. But that's actually in the Facebook group. You can download and play that, I believe, which is like a really fast 11 to 66 kind of dice basketball game where you come out with stats and stuff like that. And then Top of the Key is a basketball game I need to get back into developing. There's an entire season, 97, 98, I think, NBA, for Top of the Key that you can demo. I've got lots of different supplemental kind of things for different games in that section as well. I want to say that Yaya Tabletop Baseball is there. I can't remember if I put that there or not, but that's a dice baseball game based off of Yahtzee, which is a super fun game that I developed a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago now. And so that was a lot of fun too, just really compact. And again, you just need 5 D6 dice. So you can play that one like you do Yahtzee. Lots of stuff out there. Go to clarkandaddisongaming.com as well. Those are my production games that you can purchase seasons for. It's all PDF on there. If you go to the Game Crafter, I have one product that is a physical product that's On Base Baseball Pocket Edition, which is about the size of a card deck. And actually, let me get that. So since it's probably baseball fans out there, this is the 2024 season for this game. And On Base Baseball is just a super fun game anyway. But then this gives you everything you need to be able to play an entire season. You get some of the instructions there inside the actual case. And then you have your, it's based off of these game engine chart cards. So basically everything you need to play for each type of batter and each type of pitcher is right here on these cards. You can see there's even a pitcher card for batting. And then you get all the teams. So you get the pitchers on one side and you get all the batters on the other side. And you get that for every single team. You can see all of these are the pitchers. But the red represents the starting lineup. So if you don't know anything about the teams, you can just literally plug in, this is their most used starting lineup. And then you have your most used backups down here so starting with the most games or the most plate appearances and going down to the least. So if you want to do replays, it's great for replays. You get 18 batters and you get 18 pitchers. For older seasons, which I do have some older seasons, usually you get every single pitcher. For newer seasons, you're going to get really the top 18 pitchers. These are your starters listed by most games started to least. And then you have your relief pitchers by the most innings pitched down to the least. So really cool set. They look great. They handle really well. So you can see they're made of the same thing that a playing card is made out of. So super sturdy. They even have an extra UV coating on them, which should help them to remain in time so that they don't wear out quite as much when you're flipping through. But you have everything self-contained, and you can see here, the On Base Pocket Edition. Everything is self-contained in this package. So you just put that in there, swaddle it like a little baby, tuck it in, and now you've got an entire season right in the palm of your hand. So that is the On Base Baseball Pocket Edition. If you go to thegamecrafter.com, you can look it up. If you go to my website, clarkandaddisongaming.com, look on the front page about halfway down. I've got specific links to particular seasons, but then you can click the green button that says view all the seasons, and that'll take you to a page that lists all of the Pocket Edition seasons. I don't have every one that's available for On Base Baseball, but that's a work in progress. It takes a little bit of time to go through and do those. I'm trying to shorten that process, but it's been a little bit of a challenge to get the right setup for that. So I'm doing a lot of those cards by hand, moving them over from On Base Baseball, my spreadsheets, over to a design program. But it's a labor of love, and that's a really fun game to be able to play. I love to just take it if my kid is doing something and I've got a half hour, an hour to just sit and wait, and there's a table somewhere, I can always just play a game of on-base baseball. I just print out a pre-filled score sheet or print out one of the on-base baseball score sheets and fill it in. And then you're off and ready to go with each of those sets. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. This is Atlanta at Houston. This was the beginning of a doubleheader. So game 1 of a doubleheader. Game 2 is on this side. You can see it's Rick Mailer and Mike Madden against each other. And so you got our teams already ready to go here. And didn't get a chance to do both games this morning like I thought. But I'll play more of the basic with just the batters next time. And maybe I'll do the batters with the advanced charts, and we'll see how that goes. So you can kind of mix and match these different styles of play, whatever you want. You could play only with detailed information for the hits, but not for the ground outs and all that kind of stuff. However you really want to play it, you can kind of mix and match and modularize this how you want to. Maybe you just want to play with the strikeouts and walks, but not with the hits. Or vice versa, you want to play with the hits, but not the strikeouts and walks and all that kind of stuff, and just let those be what they are. However you want to play this game, you can play it. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit easier to create this game than it is something like Precision Baseball, which takes quite a bit of time to be able to go through and make sure that all those stats are correct and everything. I'm going to talk about, maybe in the next video, I keep promising, but I'm going to talk about why it's okay to only have the batters and why that makes more sense than adding in pitcher effects as well. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.